love trains, this is the place for you. Hi, I'm Tom Davis. I'm the owner of the Station Inn. It's a bed and breakfast for rail fans, and we're located west of Altoona. We're near the Horseshoe Curve in Pennsylvania. And in a few seconds, one of the morning trains will be coming by. It's an Amtrak train, and it's going to be heading from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia. You'll see that train over my shoulder. And you'll see a lot of trains in addition to this one. Built in 1866, built about 14 years after the railroad came through. So the hotel's been here almost as long as the railroad.
When you retired in 1993, what made you come to Crescent, Pennsylvania?
I decided that I wanted to run a bed and breakfast for rail fans. We specialize in hosting and helping rail fans when they're in the area. Well, there are about 75 trains by here in a 24-hour period. And in that 24-hour period, we have solid trains of tank cars, solid trains of coal. A lot of trains with a mixture of freight. Then there are many container trains. No truck wheels, just a box. And those are the containers that are coming in from Asia, from Europe, and they're moving to various points in the U.S., or they're moving from coast to coast on the railroad. And then, of course, the other thing that makes watching trains here interesting is the fact that a significant number of these trains have helper engines. And the helpers are needed because we're in the mountains, and these trains have to get over the mountains. And they have to get over the mountains in a fairly expeditious manner, maybe we would say. We see helpers here partly because the tonnage is heavy, but also partly because the railroad wants to move those trains quickly. Get them up the hill, get them out of the mountains, and get them headed toward the East Coast or toward Chicago. Put a helper on, move that train. We're 9 miles from Horseshoe Curve.
NS 31J 9255, West on 3, Claire, CPMG out.
We're 3 miles from Gallitzin Tunnel. Right down the road from here is the Western Maryland Scenic Railway. They operate steam and diesel excursions regularly through the season. The bridge at Cassandra, wonderful. Sit there on a bench, sit in the shade. If you have a sandwich with you, fine. Then 60 miles east of here, going toward Harrisburg, is the East Broadtop Railroad.
When you have a coal train with 4 locos in the front and 4 at the back, and all at power 8, and the ground shakes. What's your first time guests say?
Well, guests are impressed by that, but actually, the strange thing about passing trains is that they will not wake you unless you want to be awakened by them. Most of my guests who come here like to sort of sleep lightly, you might say. They want to be awakened by the trains. They watch the train in the dark, believe it or not. They watch that train go by, and then they go back to sleep.
Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, Doug.
Whipping up a wonderful breakfast, I'm sure. What are we having today?
Eggs and grits.
Well, these are the girls that make it all happen. Tom just sits back and just watches the trains, and he doesn't do any work. We all know that, right?
I point, that's all I have to do.
Kathy, you've been here how long?
11 years.
Sandy?
12 years.
She hasn't missed a day in 11 years.
11 years.
11 years.
She works very, very regularly, but as it picks up...
Started out as a favor, remember?
Yeah, she came in, Kathy just came in to help for 2
favor.
days. A favor, to cover for a while. She's still favoring.
Excellent. We had a discussion last March when Tom was in Europe for 6 weeks. And I remember asking you, well, how did Tom come about, coming to the idea of building this place? He's already described on camera. You tell me what you thought of and heard from the town when Tom said, I'm going to open a rail fan motel and bed and breakfast.
Well, everybody thought that Tom was a crazy old coot and it would never fly. He would never make any money. Where would all these people come from? And here we are today.
And here we are today, having the best fun of our lives.
Yes,
Is that
indeed.
right?
Yes.
Here we are today, and to give you an idea, Sandy has breakfast. Tomorrow it's light. Tomorrow's 10 people. Day after tomorrow it's 18 people for breakfast, and we have to fit them all around that table. Well, not really. 2 or 3 sittings starting at about 8 o'clock, and we'll go for about 40, 45 minutes, and then another group comes in. Back to that question of people won't stay here. I would ask the local people, do you ever see those people out there by the railroad track with the cameras, and some of them even have tripods and they're doing all these things and they're getting pictures of the train? Oh, we see them all the time. And my next question was, do you think they sleep in the trees at night? They have to have some place to sleep. They're going to sleep right here. There's the B&O room and the PRR room and the Western Maryland room and 4 others, all rooms with names of railroads. Our place is very unpretentious. We don't have television. We don't have telephones in the room. People come here to watch trains, not watch television.
We were going to hear the baby whistle. We just uncooked.
You want to hear the baby one first?
Baby one
Good
first.
comparison.
One more time.
I'd like to do one more time, Doug, but the neighbors don't care for it one bit. You and I love it, but I have to live here.
For the station in.
Norfolk Southern detector. Track 3, no defect.